Welcome back to the Rat Pack Reunion 2016 on Pack at Night. The stories you are about to hear are true, as far as we know. The names have not been changed.
All right, we'll start with what do you admire most about the sheriff?
Sheriff Morgan, I thought we were here to talk about Joe Durant.
Tell us a little bit about this.
Yeah, so I wore some stars today, right? I want, in honor of the sheriff, I got some stars because I want to be just like the sheriff when I grow up. But I was kind of curious on why just 4 stars. I really think he should be a 5-star sheriff. I don't know why we don't have a 5-star sheriff.
He mentioned to me a couple of times that, hey, you know, I got some stars. You wear the same kind of stars on our uniform. I got some extras if you want. I said, well, sure. You know, I didn't want to hurt his feelings or anything. So a couple days later, sure enough, he had some stars delivered to me, and I realized the stars he delivered to me were smaller than the ones that he wore. And I started paying attention, and I realized that every time someone criticized the stars, he got progressively bigger stars and bigger stars and bigger stars.
What word comes to mind when you first think of him?
John Wayne. He would probably love that, and I'm not saying it just because I think he would love it, but it really is true. He carries himself like a man who knows where he stands.
When I first saw him, he was wearing blue jeans, and he's a slender-built guy, and he had old ratty boots on and spurs, I believe. He looked like Woody from Toy Story is what he looked like. And to this day, I think that he wanted to be sheriff because he needed a star to go with his cowboy costume. But anyways, then they said, hey, you need to sing, and they got him up to sing, and I thought, wow, this is pretty impressive. He can sing as well. And so he moseys up there with his cowboy get-up on, and I was expecting Hank Williams, and I get Wayne Newton.
Dark as shame, darling, dark as shame.
He's a cowboy when he needs to be, he's well-spoken when he needs to be, and when he needs to, he can always let out a well-placed humdinger.
I think that there's a couple things I learned from Sheriff that you don't do with Sheriff Morgan. The first one I would say is you don't talk second, you know, because there's nothing left to talk about when you talk after Sheriff Morgan, and a lot of times the battery in the microphone's dead anyway, so it doesn't really do you any good.
My favorite story of the sheriff is some shoes that he would wear with his uniform that were
Comfort.
comfort shoes.
Yes, comfort shoes.
They were unfashionable.
Ugly.
She's more straightforward than I am.
He often sings the national anthem. And he always says people ask him, but I'm not sure that's right. I think sometimes, you know, he asks to do that. And notice next time that happens, people will instantly look at the gun. Like, well, I'm not going to say no, he's got a gun.
What's the first word that comes to mind when you think of him?
Noted.
Duly noted.
Everything you do, every day that you come to work, you try to do what's right by the community and what's right by your department. I just think he's done a good job of keeping his head above water, of canceling out the noise and to just do what he has to do to be the sheriff and to be an effective leader.
I admire his openness and willing to communicate with the employees of the sheriff's office on any level.
And I admire him for his commitment to the community and the job that he does every day, because it's a very tough job.
Why do you think he deserves to be an honoree?
I think he deserves to be an honoree because he really, tell me why do you think he deserves to be an honoree? I think the sheriff deserves to be an honoree because as sheriff of Escambia County, he sees a lot of elderly abuse. He sees a lot of elderly people that are victims of crimes, whether it's fraud, they're easy to take advantage of, whether they've been robbed, whatever the case may be. Law enforcement's obviously on the front lines when it comes to defending all of our citizens, but especially our most vulnerable, including our elderly. I think by all means he deserves to be honored and recognized for that.